from out here in the garden. So I've been thinking, and based on some of the questions that I've been getting, I understand that there are many other women out there that also have very thin Afro cotton on their scalp, like so. And many of us want to be free from hair gel. So shout out if you've had your ears unfortunately singed off with scalding hot straightening combs, right? Shout outs to you. Shout outs to you if you have experienced major scalp burns from the perm that I begged my mom for. She didn't want to give it to me, but I begged and begged and begged once I got exposed to my cousin's perm. So shout out to you if you tried lots of the tutorials online and your hair just never comes out looking like any of the pictures. And shout outs to you if you love cornrows. You always wanted a bunch of cornrow styles. I saved up my money years ago to go to the best, the absolute best, best braider, master braider, which was Talani's Regal Movement. Wow, Talani's Regal Movement. And she's not there anymore, but she trained the women from, shout out to New Wave Cultural Creation, New Wave, spelled with the NU, Cultural Creations, one of the best braid lock salons ever. Quality braiders, cleanliness, all of that. Saved up my money for years. Best cornrows I ever had. However, my scalp also itched profusely anytime my scalp is exposed and pulled with cornrows. So I love cornrows, but unfortunately, cornrows don't love me. One of my favorite styles. Shout out if you did the double strand twisting, because that's what I was able to do, and to figure out how to do flat twists. But your fine, delicate hair really became something in terms of detangling it. Shout out to you if you don't want to use a whole lot of products and you just want to be free. So I just wanted to share some encouragement for those women that have very, very fine, cottony, delicate hair, that it's not, doesn't have a whole lot of follicles all over the head, that looks very scalpy. You know, when you twist it, you know, if I was to twist it down, you'd be seeing a whole lot of my scalp with a lot of these. So shout out to you. So I thought I would share some encouragement for women that are considering locks and semi-freeform locks. And I'm distinguishing these just for myself as Afro locks because I feel like they're the best of both worlds in terms of the low maintenance of semi-freeform locks. It's not growing into one big kanganati. You can straighten it out somewhat. You don't have to use any products, and it's very easy on our hair. And this is really important for women that have hair that just does not like to be messed with. You try things and you try things and the hair is communicating to you, please stop messing with me. And actually someone, I think I've gotten a couple of questions about dryness, right? So before I forget, this is Body-Culinary. On this channel I share beginner gardening, whole living foods, what I call peaceful eating from plants. Peaceful, first of all, to your own body temple and extending that mindset out and mentality out to the rest of the world. Cultivating encouragement to start a movement practice, as well as, you know, my journey with having very fine, delicate, Afro cottony hair. So that's what I'm sharing on this channel. So feel free to share it if you find any value. So that being said, I was like, you know what? Several women have asked questions because they may be considering some options if you have fine hair. You may not want to cut everything off. You maybe perhaps want to see what is the maximum that you can take your hair to on your own. Just what are the possibilities that my hair, of what my hair can do if it's very, very fine. And there are different degrees of fine. So I don't have a whole lot of follicles. My hair is so fine, you know, as I've shared before, they're going in flat, and I'm still learning things about it. I mean, look how flat that is, you know, but there are some benefits. So I thought I'd just support some folks that are considering, should I lock it? Can it help my hair grow? So I'm not a hair doctor or a dermatologist. I can just share my journey, my natural journey, which is going on over 30 years, which is crazy. which is really, really banana. My return to natural from high school. So don't give too much away about ladies my age, although I love my age, my solar cycles. So some women may be experiencing alopecia, traction alopecia from too tight styles. I know at one point I had my hair braided so tightly here that I had blisters in my scalp. Oh my gosh, I cut them out of my hair. I didn't even care. I was in so much pain, and I'm very tender-headed. And I was traveling. As soon as I got back to the States, and I put my suitcase down, I grabbed the scissor and just started cutting my hair. And just a couple of weeks ago, I got scissor happy again. So I stopped around this one. I went from here to here. So anything that was old, or I had experimented with some thread, it was holding on, I was like, oh, energy, just cut it off. And I'm a person that has cut my hair bald, and have worn a low peach fuzz cut for I think over a decade. So if my hair was holding on by a shoestring, by a little string, I can cut it off. I feel totally comfortable and free knowing that it's mine. But maybe perhaps, oh, mosquitoes out here in the garden. You may perhaps want to explore, well, what can happen? What is my hair going to look like? And I know, again, if you have this kind of color or texture, you may not be like, you may be scared. Like, what is that going to look like if I'm walking around looking like this? That may not be attractive to you. Or maybe perhaps you don't know what the hair is going to do, how it's going to behave. It's like an unruly child or somebody that goes out, when you take them out, you don't know what they're going to do. So you may not have any idea of what your hair is going to do, what it's going to perform like. So maybe perhaps this can give you some insight. I don't have a lot of locks on my head. I think maybe they're almost 20 on each side. But again, as I've shared, this can be a great benefit for folks that have very delicate hair. So 3 months, I think, is a good amount of time. Hopefully this whole, lockdown thing will be over. But 3 months, I think, is a great amount of time to see where you can take your hair to. What can it do? And you have some options. You have some options for what you can do. So I started out from double strand twist. So you can see how teeny tiny these are, and what a big difference this is in letting them combine, and they're actually still combining. So I let this go now. I'm not even going to try to pull this apart anymore. It's done. It's on its own. I can tell you it definitely feels stronger. So perhaps if people have any questions, I can share with you my simple insight, but still your hair journey is your own. I really want to encourage folks to be comfortable in their own skin. And there's a couple little tips that I have if you would like to experience no product locks or minimal products. So I don't have any oil in my hair. Oh, someone was asking me about dryness. Does my hair dry? Maybe they want clarity on what I mean by dryness. So my hair has 0 products, and this is so soft. This is softer than even when I used to use a bunch of Pantene conditioners, and there was one time as Loose Natural where I fell in love with Pantene conditioner until one of my clients, shout out to Miss D, ID Leon, she put me onto the fact that this silicone or whatever, and it was like a plastic